Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Before we begin, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. A spontaneous elopement, a family built on television magic, a partnership that defied the unforgiving currents of celebrity life. They were goals. They were forever. But what happens when forever is brutally interrupted? What happens when the curtain falls, the cameras stop rolling, and one of the most bankable smiles in morning television is replaced by unbearable, gut-wrenching tears? Get ready, because the private story of their most painful separation is far more shocking, far more complex, and ultimately, far more inspiring than any tabloid headline suggested. This isn't just a breakup story, it's a profound lesson in love, loss, and the stunning power of a woman who had to shatter her perfect image to save herself. The truth about Kelly and Mark starts now. For over 25 years, their public life was a beautiful, seamless performance. They met, they eloped in Las Vegas, a whirlwind romance straight out of a script. Kelly was America's sweetheart, and Mark was the dashing, devoted leading man. Their on-screen chemistry simply bled into reality. Every day on Live with Kelly and Mark, we saw the little touches, the knowing glances, the shared laughter. It was the golden facade, a rock-solid partnership that comforted millions. It made us believe that true Hollywood love was possible. Yet, behind that dazzling, billion-dollar brand, a pressure cooker was building. A relentless schedule, children growing up and leaving the nest, the quiet, insidious forces that test even the most devoted couples. The problem wasn't a sudden tabloid scandal, it was a slow, agonizing realization, a realization that one of them was starting to feel completely unseen. And that brings us to the shocking first crack, which occurred not in a public fight, but in a silenced, desperate email exchanged between them while Mark was filming thousands of miles away. An email that, when we reveal its contents later, will completely change your perspective on their entire relationship. As their lives diverged, Mark often on location for new projects, Kelly anchored to New York and her hugely successful talk show, an invisible line formed between them. This wasn't physical distance, it was emotional misalignment. Kelly, the powerhouse, the Emmy winner, found herself in a deeply traditional role at home, managing the immense machinery of their life. She confessed to friends that she felt like the chief operating officer of the Ripa Consuelos empire, not an equal partner. She was thriving professionally, but personally, she felt like she was constantly sacrificing a piece of herself. She was running on empty. The turning point wasn't a fight over infidelity or money. It was a seemingly innocuous text message about a school permission slip. A mundane piece of paper that became the trigger for years of unspoken resentment to explode into the open. Kelly's response to that text was so unlike her usual playful tone that it sent Mark into a panic. He knew, instantly, something was fundamentally wrong. But what he did next, a drastic action he took the very next day, without even telling Kelly, was the final, agonizing confirmation that their marriage was, for the moment, truly over. Prepare to be surprised. The separation was devastating. And for a couple so public, it had to happen in the most private of ways. There was no joint statement, no publicist crafting a narrative. Just two people, alone in their multi-million-dollar penthouse, facing a truth they had both avoided. We now know that the tears Kelly shed weren't just about losing a husband, they were about losing the identity she had built for 27 years. Kelly reportedly felt paralyzed, not just sad, but physically unable to function. Friends reported seeing her simply staring out a window, convinced she had made a terrible mistake. But the deepest heartbreak came from their children. They were adults, but still reeling from the news. We'll tell you the powerful, tear-filled intervention their eldest son, Michael, staged with both of his parents, a moment that served as the darkest emotional valley for the entire family. This separation was a brutal, necessary storm. But what came next, a single, spontaneous weekend getaway for Kelly, is the surprising twist that not only saved her sanity, but actually laid the secret foundation for their future. You'll never guess who she went with. Kelly Ripa, the woman who had spent a quarter-century defining herself as Mark's wife and America's co-host, was finally alone. And in that solitude, a phoenix